Okay.
That's a little better.
I think it's...
Evening, everybody. Hey, it worked. Now we can do this. I can like it. Ha. All right, so here we are. It's November 2nd. Yes, we're in November already. What if this year went by really fast?
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like we have been waiting on things and waiting on things and waiting on things. But, you know, and looking back, I mean, the year's almost over already. Wow. Oops.
You got to turn your sound
I got to turn some sound down.
down.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Seems like I always mess this part up. But anyways, so today we actually finally planted our garlic.
Yes.
Had some helpers. Helpers would be the 3 dogs.
So where we planted the garlic was this little raised bed, and it was already prepped. We had like compost in it, and then we had the hay and the manure from the goats.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a cover.
Old hay, old manure.
Yeah.
Nothing fresh, yes.
And then it has a top over it, so it's like a greenhouse, nothing can get into it. Well, as soon as the top of that came off, the dogs were like, oh, yeah. One of them, I think, just wanted to get in there and roll around in it, but I kept her out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like confused as to why. But yeah, we did get those planted.
Yep.
I think it was a little late, but.
Well, but they're still in like little greenhouse containers, so hopefully we'll see what happens. I think you have until like the middle of November.
Okay, so maybe we're all right.
Yeah.
We're in the window.
Hey, Bethany.
You inspired me to have pasta sauce for dinner tonight. Obviously, I didn't have any peppers or onions today, so I ended up taking one of the jars out that I froze, and we're going to have something similar to what you're having.
Yes.
Big week.
Let's see what else. Today, we go through a lot of eggs. We sell eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. And today we got 2 eggs. 2.
We have like 40 hens.
It's been a little cold and
less light in the day and all that, but
we went from 2 dozen plus or minus to 2.
Pretty much inside of 2 weeks.
Yeah. We went like 2 dozen, a dozen, 8,
5, 4, 2.
Yeah.
That's kind of unacceptable.
Yeah. So just before we came in, we actually caught some of the older hens, the ones that we know are older, because we don't want to just feed them all winter long, because that's a waste of money, waste of resources. If they're not laying eggs, they're not doing their job. So they're going to fulfill another need.
So older hens make excellent soup and dumplings.
Schmaltz.
Schmaltz. If you don't know what schmaltz is, it is the chicken fat, that yellow chicken fat.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
So, I mean, we'll see what these ladies have in store for us, and we'll take care of that tomorrow.
I think we're taking care of a couple of neighbors. She's got some roosters and a couple of ducks, so we're doing that as well.
Okay.
Kind of as a favor for her.
So we'll take care of that. Road work kind of came to a slippery stop because of the rain. Yeah, it doesn't rain for months, and then we start getting the road work done, and then it rains, and then this mountain turns into a mud pit. So Monday we delivered the Clark group. So it was Clark, Layla, and Jadis. to a farm. It's Tiny Tread Homestead. If you want to follow along, they have a YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Tiny Tread Homestead, and that's where Clark, Jadis, and Layla are. We took them there Monday, and if you saw the video that we put out, it didn't really do justice for what we went through. It took us at least a half an hour to get down the road because of the mud and the trailer pushing the truck.
Yeah, and it was kind of like jackknifing, and I actually ended up getting out of the truck. I'm like...
That's why you see her walking at one point.
I was beside myself, and I know he was already focusing on getting down the road safely, and he didn't need my...
Yeah.
So I just walked.
So she did have a purpose to get out of the truck, though, because
we were going so slow that Annie was following along.
Yeah, because her sheep were going, so she followed along.
I'm going to follow along. It's like, nope, I'm going to get out of the truck. I'm going to bring her to the house, and I'll meet you at the bottom.
And that's what we did. So it was a solid 4 hours out there, solid 4 hours back. And what we ended up doing, we didn't try to drive the trailer back up to the house. We just took it back to the home that it belongs at, dropped it off then. So we're very thankful to our friends that let us borrow it.
We still got to get the water buckets back to them, too.
Yes, we still have the water troughs here. We'll take care of that. You worked all week?
I did. A lot of biochar this week. We have a biochar kiln. Big, awkward, 6 big metal pieces. We took it down at one place, set it up at another, did a burn, tore it down after the burn, moved it to another spot, and then set it up there. But that's a lot. But the burn went well. That's the week before we were at the island. But yeah, that was the majority of my week.
My week wasn't much of anything other than delivering the sheep. And Doofus is out walking around now. So Doofus is the big dog, because we brought home Miley and Maui a couple weeks ago. But Maui, Doofus, he wanders more. So we kind of had to control him a little bit more, but he's been out now
a couple of days.
Yeah, for a few days. And, he's been in and out, but he's been out steady now for a few days. And I got to say, they're both doing really good.
I went out there tonight. We fed them. We feed them twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, and trying to get them trained to the bowls clinking together. Because they're not trained like a normal dog.
No.
They're
livestock guardian dogs are independent thinkers, and that's how they're bred. You don't train them to sit.
They don't
stay,
sit,
move. That's not what they do. That's not what their job.
They'll look at you. I'll be like, and they're just, I'm just going to keep walking. I don't care what you say.
But so if he gets somewhere where he's not supposed to be, it's a chore to move him. He got into the fun and game shed. When we first brought him in and first let him out, and I basically had to have like a lid for a tote in front of me to try to steer him out of that shed.
It's not like it's difficult. They're heavy.
Yeah, they're
huge,
just big
and he drools.
Yeah, and they're stubborn. Yeah, but they're doing good. The other night the coyotes were just all over the place, howling and hooting and whatever, and those 2 dogs and a little Annie dog, but we're just like on it.
But you could hear the echoes of there's a Pyrenees. All the neighbors' Pyrenees were going nuts. The hounds were going nuts. So it's like
Pabu was going. It was, but just to hear the coyotes too, and have Miley dog tear across the knoll. I was out there and she kind of startled me when she ran by. She ran by so fast.
She's like, I got a job, and it's to take.
She went from the back easement to the turn coming up to our house in like no time. he meandered through, but his bark carries more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a deep, bellowing bark, which is cool.
Yeah, and when I went to go feed him tonight, he was chewing on an antler, and we don't know where it came from.
No.
So out on a walk somewhere, he found a dead deer somewhere, or maybe the antlers from last, I don't know, spring or something.
Could be from a rub and just broke off, but
anyway, it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's like, what's an antler doing up here?
But I think that's everything as far as the farm update's concerned.
Yep, road work's going.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be dry this week, so road work will continue and should make some really good progress this week.
Yep. And hopefully I'll be getting heat in my car this week too.
Get the part. Yeah.
I ordered the part, and hopefully we can get that fixed because
that's needed.
I've been using a little space heater to warm it up, and
I wouldn't say a little one.
Well, I used a little one, but then I took the big unit that was in Ashland's room. I mean, it's a little mini fireplace thing. Mm-hmm. Put that in there, and hey,
it works.
It works.
Yeah. So tonight we're picking up in Matthew, and we're going to continue. And I believe that we're at chapter 13, and picking up with the parables and getting into this. But before we get into that, I want to read just a section of 13. Mm-hmm. And yes, doofus, that's what I call him. But so the Bible that I have in front of me it's got two versions. It's got the NIV and the Message. And in the Message portion, it breaks it up funny. And
the wording is kind of...
The wording here, I think I actually popped when I read it. It says, your ears are open, but you don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake, but you don't see a thing. The people are blockheads.
That sounds like the Peanuts.
I mean, we're not reading the Peanuts version here, you know?
The Message is supposed to be like, well...
It's like
20 years ago, it was today's.
But they still didn't use blockhead. I mean, come on. Blockheads, yes. I mean, oh, well. Yeah.
You can just hear Lucy saying it.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to stay with the NIV that we've been reading because we don't want to be a bunch of blockheads.
Okay.
But anyways, so Matthew 13, and Mommy, you're going to go ahead and get us started.
Okay. Parable of the sower. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came up and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because it had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. He who has ears, let him hear. The disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to the people in parables? He replied, the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. This is why I speak to them in parables. Through seeing they do not see, through hearing they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. Yeah. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this, the people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts. In turn, I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your eyes because they hear. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in the heart. This is the seed that was sown along the path. The one who received the seed that fell on rocky places is the man who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since he has no root, it lasts only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. The one who has received the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. But the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown.
Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servant asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds, you may root up the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat and bring into the barn."
He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is smallest of all your seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and perch in its branches. He told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough. Jesus spoke all these things to the crowd in parables. He did not say anything to them without using a parable. So it was fulfilled, what was spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world.
Then he left the crowd and went into the house. His disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He answered, "The one who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are the angels. As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears, let him hear."
The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it.
Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous, and will throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. "Have you understood all these things?" Jesus asked. "Yes," they replied. He said to them, "Therefore, every teacher of the law who has been instructed about the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old."
When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. "Where did this man get wisdom and this miraculous powers?" they asked. "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things?" And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, "Only in his hometown and in his own house is a prophet without honor." And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith.
Chapter 14. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard the reports about Jesus, and he said to his attendants, "This is John the Baptist. He was risen from the dead. This is why miraculous powers are at work in him." Now Herod had arrested John and bound him and put him in prison because of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife. For John had been saying to him, "It is not lawful for you to have her." Herod wanted to kill John, but he was afraid of the people because they considered him a prophet. On Herod's birthday, the daughter of Herodias danced for them and pleased Herod so much that he promised with an oath to give her whatever she asked. Prompted by her mother, she said, "Give me here on a platter the head of John the Baptist." The king was distressed, but because of his oaths and his dinner guests, he ordered that her request be granted and had John beheaded in the prison. His head was brought in on a platter and given to the girl, who carried it to her mother. John's disciples came and took his body and buried it. Then they went and told Jesus.
When Jesus heard what had happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. Hearing of this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so that they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You need to give them something to eat." "We only here have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here to me," he said. Then he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to his disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children.
Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Whenever evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. And those who were in the boat worshiped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized Jesus, they sent word to all surrounding country. People brought all their sick to him and begged him to let the sick just touch the edge of his cloak, and all who touched him were healed.
Then some Pharisees and teachers of the law came to Jesus from Jerusalem and asked, "Why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders? They don't wash their hands before they eat." Jesus replied, "And why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? For God said, 'Honor your father and mother,' and anyone who curses his father or mother must be put to death. But you say that if a man says to his father or mother, 'Whatever help you might otherwise have received from me is a gift devoted to God,' he is not to honor his father with it. Thus you nullify the word of God for the sake of your tradition. You hypocrites, Isaiah was right when he prophesied about you. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachers are but rules taught by men." Jesus called the crowd to him and said, "Listen and understand. What goes into a man's mouth does not make him unclean, but what comes out of his mouth, that is what makes him unclean." Then the disciples came to him and asked, "Do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this?" He replied, "Every plant that my heavenly Father has not planted will be pulled up by the roots. Leave them, they are blind guides. If a blind man leads a blind man, both will fall into a pit." Peter said, "Explain the parable to us." "Are you still so dull?" Jesus asked. "Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body? But the things that come out of the mouth come from the heart, and these things make a man unclean. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. These are what make a man unclean. But eating with unwashed hands does not make him unclean."
Leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him, crying out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly from demon possession." Jesus did not answer a word, so his disciples came to him and urged him, "Send her away, for she keeps crying out after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel." The woman came and knelt before him. "Lord, help me," she said. He replied, "It is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs." "Yes, Lord," she said, "but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." Then Jesus answered, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed from that very hour.
Jesus left there and went along the Sea of Galilee. He went up on a mountainside and sat down. Great crowds came to him, bringing the lame, the blind, the crippled, the mute, and many others, and laid them at his feet, and he healed them. The people were amazed when they saw the mute speaking, the cripple made well, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they praised the God of Israel. Jesus called his disciples to him and said, "I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way." Jesus answered, "Where could we get enough bread for this in this remote place to feed such a crowd?" "How many loaves do you have?" Jesus asked. 7, and a few small fish. He told the crowd to sit down on the ground. Then he took the 7 loaves and the fish, and when he had given thanks, he broke them and gave them to his disciples, and they in turn to the people. They all ate and were satisfied. Afterward, the disciples picked up 7 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate were 4,000, besides women and children. After Jesus sent the crowd away, he got into the boat and went to the vicinity of Magadan.
Chapter 16. The Pharisees and Sadducees came to Jesus and tested him by asking him to show them a sign from heaven. He replied, "When evening comes, you say, 'It will be fair weather, for the sky is red.' And in the morning, 'Today it will be stormy, for the sky is red and overcast.' You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation looks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of Jonah." Jesus then left them and went away.
When they went across the lake, the disciples forgot to take the bread. "Be careful," Jesus said to them. "Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees." They discussed this among themselves and said, "It's because we didn't bring any bread."
Sorry.
Aware of their discussion, Jesus asked, "You of little faith, why are you talking among yourselves about having no bread? Do you still not understand? Don't you remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000 and how many basketfuls you gathered? Or the 7 loaves for the 4,000 and how many basketfuls you gathered? How is it you don't understand that I was not talking to you about bread, but on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees?" Then they understood that he was not telling them to guard against the yeast used in the bread, but against the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. I can just picture them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist. Others say Elijah. And still others, Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he warned his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Christ.
From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, chief priests, and teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and on the 3rd day be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Never, Lord," he said. "This shall never happen to you." Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. What good will it be for a man if he gains the whole world, yet forfeits his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what he has done. I tell you the truth, some you are standing here will not taste death before the Son of Man coming into his kingdom." Wait.
I think we could do one more.
Okay.
Chapter 17. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah, talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus instructed them, "Don't tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." The disciples asked him, "Why then do the teachers of the law say that Elijah must come first?" Jesus replied, "To be sure, Elijah comes and will restore all things. But I tell you, Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him, but have done to him everything they wished. In the same way, the Son of Man is going to suffer at their hands." Then the disciples understood that he was talking to them about John the Baptist.
When they came to the crowd, a man approached Jesus and knelt before him. "Lord, have mercy on my son. He has seizures and is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire or the water. I brought him to your disciples, but they could not heal him." "O unbelieving and perverse generation," Jesus replied, "how long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me." Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of the boy, and he was healed from that moment. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" He replied, "Because you have so little faith. I tell you the truth, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." When they came together in Galilee, he said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of men. They will kill him, and on the 3rd day he will be raised to life." And the disciples were filled with grief.
After Jesus and his disciples arrived at Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma tax came to Peter and asked, "Doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes, he does," he replied. When Peter came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak. "What do you think, Simon?" he asked. "From whom do the kings of the earth collect duty and taxes? From their own sons or from others?" "From others," Peter answered. "Then the sons are exempt." Jesus said to him, "But so that we may not offend them, go to the lake and throw out your line. Take the first fish you catch, open its mouth, and you will find 4 drachma coin. Take it and give it to them for my tax and yours." Go catch a fish, take the coins out of its mouth, and go pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that?
No, but I know the one who can.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse the scratchy throats tonight. Shelter says these boots. Yep, I think it's normally tabernacles because that's what they call it.
And King James.
Yeah. Well, that's everything we have for tonight. You got anything, Mamas?
Mm-mm.
As always, please keep us in your prayers. Because as always, there's a lot going on around here, and and some blessings have come our way, and we thank you all for them. And we will continue to pray for y'all. If you have any specific prayer requests that you'd like us to pray for, if you don't want to leave them in the live chat that way, it's over there. It's not Mama, but or if you don't want to leave them in the comments, our email will be below. You can always email us if you have something that you don't want others to know about, or if for all unmentioned but known prayer requests, we do pray for you. And again, thank you for praying for us.
Just more changes coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's pray that the weather's good for the road work, because we got a lot of people living here, and I don't want to say it's inconvenient, but it can be challenging.
Yeah.
Trying to do the dance with the bulldozer and dump trucks and everything.
Yep.
With everybody living here.
Especially just pray to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and not sure what's going on in the country right now in regards to how people are being impacted by the shutdown. So just keep everybody in your prayers. And if you have blessings that you could pay forward, to others, in your neighborhood or others that widows, orphans, people who need it, who really need it, not just because they're lazy.
Our church is doing a food drive because, we've heard SNAP is put back in place. We've also haven't confirmed that, so we're not sure. But we're doing a food drive.
Yep.
Hopefully to make Thanksgiving boxes for the people of Hot Springs.
Yes.
You're welcome to donate to our church, or if you want to donate to us, we'll make sure that food is bought and brought to the church.
Yep.
To the other church. There's a lot of involvement with this one.
Yes.
The Lord's Harvest Ministry. There's a lot of people stepping up, and it's pretty cool to see.
It is. It's like the old hippies and hillbillies working side by side again.
Yep, taking care of each other.
Yes, because that's what we do. Not only just as human beings, but as brothers and sisters in Christ. We are supposed to take care of each other. We're not supposed to look towards the government to take care of us. We look towards ourselves and our Lord to take care of us. And we take care of each other out of the abundance and joy of our hearts. So on that note, we're going to say goodnight because I'm smelling dinner.
Hopefully it's not burning.
Yeah. So
yeah, we did kind of go late.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But y'all take care now. We'll see you next week.
See ya.